We are back, the Black Freckles Sports Show. It is after game 2 of the NBA Finals. I haven't even posted the show from after game 1 of the NBA Finals, but long story short, we was both pretty sure that the Heat was gonna get swept. Cam is in the building.
Yep. I thought they was gonna get swept, bro.
I did say this, right? I thought about what I initially thought when I saw the game. I even came back to you and I said it. I said, to me, the Heat showed me that they can play with these guys and that they can beat these guys, right? But then I said, but the Lakers made me feel that way. And I said, that's what's going to happen with the Heat. The Heat going to play 4 close games just like the Lakers did, and they're going to get swept. And then they proved me wrong last night.
Yep. And when I was watching the game, second half, that was when I was like, you know what? It's about time for that PS5 to beep. Because I for sure thought that the game was over. And I was like, you know what? This is playoff basketball. I'm going to give it a chance. You know, I'm going to actually watch this game because for one, I needed to, you know, come on to the show and let people know how I felt when I was watching it.
That was the main reason I was going to finish it.
Right. So I was like, I gotta see it through. Once I got to the point where the Heat flipped the game in their favor, when they regained the lead, I was like, man, Denver might be in trouble.
Bruh. That's literally, like, I don't even want to admit that I left the game like that because I feel like such a prisoner of the moment. But I definitely left the game saying Denver is in trouble. Like, did you know that when Jokic has 35 points or more in the playoffs, the Nuggets have lost all those games?
No.
I swear I heard that.
That's a crazy ass stat.
Yeah. Like, they asked Eric Spoelstra last night. They said, you know, since Joker do so much, they feel like they turned him into a scorer tonight, and he got pissed off. He was like, that is just a question to the untrained eye. And then that's what everybody in the comments I see, they were saying, well, when he scored 35 points or more, they didn't lost every game. I was like, damn, for real? So I looked at it like Joker being a scorer, honestly, it's no different than if you make LeBron or Kobe or Jordan or KD just a scorer, and you say, well, you're not going to beat me by yourself. You know, if you score 70 points, if your team got 70, y'all going to lose. So it's like, no matter how many points you score, if nobody else come with you, y'all going to lose. So I think that might be the strategy with Joker. But at the same time, if the Miami Heat are hitting a bunch of threes, that's when they're at their best, which is crazy because they were, 27th in three-point shooting in the regular season. But when they hitting threes, they hard to beat. And again, like I mentioned before, the zone that they run is insane.
It works.
I don't see how it works.
It works because, like what you said, Joker has to score a certain amount of points, but he also has to pass the ball. If you turn Joker into a scorer instead of a playmaker, it's easier for you to guard that paint area and force him to try and do something. And force the others to try and make plays if Joker is going to be putting the ball in the basket every time he goes down to.
Hell, you call for Cody Zeller and I call for Kevin Love. They both was getting burned last night. Zeller made like an impossible layup last night.
Bro, you saw that shit too? He was like spinning this? Bro, I was mad at first. I was like, ain't no way Cody Zeller hitting that shit. And not on the Denver defense at that.
All he did was come in and go 2 for 2. He had no other stats. He had 4 points. And hey, they won by damn 3. You feel me? But what they did, see, man, Eric Spoelstra be making these dudes look like clowns sometimes. Like, all jokes aside. To me, Mike Malone looked like a clown last night. Like, they was running like a delayed action. I want to say the score was 85-83. They ran a delayed action, and one time, Duncan Robinson rolled off of it, and they went straight to the basket, and they passed it to Duncan Robinson. Like the big headed at the top, Duncan Robinson got like a free layup. I don't know how Duncan Robinson been getting to the basket so much in the playoffs recently, but whatever. And then the next time they run it, Duncan Robinson rolls to the goal, and both people follow Duncan Robinson. And then I want to say it was Strus was wide open for a 3. And that was back-to-back plays. That was quick 5 points. So I'm like, How, for starters, and then what I love that Spo did is he started Kevin Love, and then when they wasn't in the zone, they put Jimmy Butler on Jamal Murray, and he had trouble.
Yeah,
he had trouble. But this is what I be talking about when I be talking about how height plays such a huge role into the NBA. It's because of that length. Jamal had trouble. You know what I'm saying? Hell, Jimmy Butler had trouble because of Jason Tatum's length. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that shit matters, and to me, those aren't the type of adjustments that should be able to beat a team that's as much better than the Heat like the Nuggets are. Like the Nuggets are way better than the Heat.
Yeah. So two things. I want to touch on the length thing because that's why I was preaching for the Lakers to put Vanderbilt on Jamal Murray. They was in those games, but all the games where the Nuggets pulled away is because Jamal Murray went off. And if Jamal Murray is going to be the difference maker, you need to throw all the bodies you can against him. Jokic's going to get his, but if Jamal Murray can be stopped, you need to primarily focus on trying to stop that.
That's another reason why I say Jamal Murray is a superstar. To me, the game plan from jump is we can't let Jamal Murray beat us.
It's got to be.
It's got to be. It's got to be. Hell, I didn't love the fact that they let him get a 3 off at the end of the game. Why don't you foul there? I hate when teams do not foul in that situation. We're up by 3. It's 10 or less seconds left. I'm not going to let you dribble the ball all the way down court and get off a 3 when I can just foul you. If I foul you, there's no way you get a 3. Hell, Jamal Murray almost hit the 3 if you want to keep it a buck at the end of the game.
Yeah.
And I don't love that. You know what I'm saying? So Murray had 18 points off 7 of 15. He had 10 assists, 3 for 8 from the 3-point line. You can live with that. You can live with that. You can't let him have that 30. Hell, even that 27, 28. You don't want him to have that. If you can keep his ass under 20 points, you got a shot.
Yeah, that's a win in my eyes.
Yes. Hell, the 2 Browns, they was hooping. The one that spelled like Braun, all right. He was 6 points, 3 for 3 from the field. And then the other Brown he was 11 points, 4 for 9 from the field. That's not horrible. So they got some decent. They do not be playing nobody though. They legit play 8 people.
8 people, bro.
8 people, bro. Like legit. Like,
Jeff Green ain't see no minutes, did he?
Yeah.
He did?
Jeff Green definitely played. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I remember when he was in the game, I tweeted LeBron. I said, who you going for, LeBron? Kevin Love or Jeff Green, man? And then I seen KCP. I was like, damn, it's like the LeBron circus and shit out here.
Oh, yeah. KCP, one of the best members of that Denver team that don't get talked about enough.
I completely agree. He's a key. And then I'm looking at the Nuggets yesterday, and I said, damn, DeAndre Jordan on their team, he don't never play. He don't never play.
They got enough bigs. If you got Michael Porter Jr. grabbing damn neir 10 rebounds a night, what you need DeAndre Jordan in there for?
Yeah, Aaron Gordon, a big dude too.
It's Aaron Gordon.
Man, I don't feel comfortable saying that the Nuggets are in trouble, but if I was a Nuggets fan, I'd be a little uneasy.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the Nuggets being in trouble. I said that because I didn't think that the Heat were going to get one in Denver. Now that I know that
I thought it was game 1.
I didn't think they were going to get a game in Denver, but since they did, it looks funny in the light because it's like, damn, can Denver go and then take 2 in Miami because Miami is hostile territory? But that's what they need.
Yes,
I don't think they're in trouble. Yeah.
To say we have to win one of the next 2 games, that's a big deal because technically Miami didn't have to win one of the first 2 games. No. They can say, all right, we down 0-2, we go home and defend home court, and then we start from there. You know what I'm saying? Like the Nuggets are on some like, hey, we got to go steal one in Miami now, and that's tough. It's gonna be hostile down there, man. But so we woke up this morning and I look into the Madden chat, of course, talking about sports. And my nephew said, man, I'm surprised every time the Heat win a game. And I was like, that is not a crazy statement. Like, that is not a crazy. Like, if you go all the way back to the first series that was in the playoffs, bro, it's kind of shocking every time they win a game, bro.
I've been thinking about it. He might be right. Because I felt the same way last night. I felt the same way in that Boston series.
Yep.
Just literally even the play-in game. Because they lost the first one, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, every game after that.
Yes.
Every game after that, I've kind of been like, man, I don't know if the Heat could pull it off.
Right. And then every time, bro, it's like I literally when they started making their run last night, I texted our group chat. I said, it is an honor and a privilege to watch the Miami Heat play basketball. I'm sorry. There's nothing more. Like, I'm in love with these guys. Like, I would take Eric Spoelstra on a date ski, bro. Like, these guys are such a pleasure to watch. And it's just because y'all have no business winning none of these games, bro. Like, I just seen yesterday that Duncan Robinson signed the biggest contract ever for an undrafted player. It was like 4 years, 90 million. And I was like, damn, no undrafted player ever did that before. You know what I'm saying? Like in NFL, it's undrafted players that won the Super Bowl as the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, that ain't never happened before, but it's different. Like if you can hoop like that, people gonna know eventually. You know what I'm saying? Usually before you out of college, somebody gonna know. Because most of these NBA players was the best player at their high school, was the best player at their college, was the best player that everybody that know them in real life ever seen. You know what I'm saying? Hell, me and you know the best player in real life we ever seen, and they didn't even get close to the NBA.
Bruh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, my homeboy used to always argue me down that his homeboy could go to the NBA. And I was like, your homeboy can't go to the NBA. He was like, how do you know? You never seen him hoop. I was like, because he works at the Apple store. I was like, if he's not hooping every single day and he only 6'2", he can't go to the NBA.
Nah. Don't matter how good you are.
It does not matter, bro, because you're not as good as you think you are. These dudes hooping every single day. So it's shocking to me when I see that. But I just love to see them play because they win in these unorthodox ways, and they do things like run the zone, and they do things like change the starting lineup and put Kevin Love out there. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and then you have all these undrafted guys. It's just amazing to see, because it's like anyone who's complaining about basketball used to be better and basketball, I don't care what the Miami Heat are playing basketball. It's like when I watch Floyd Mayweather fight and he's never getting hit, but he's hitting people. It's like, that's boxing. Y'all want to see a fight. You know what I'm saying? He boxing. So I feel the same way when people say, oh, this finals is boring. Y'all want to see a superstar. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have no problem with that. But if you're going to give me basketball when it ain't a superstar there, I'm taking it. I'm taking it. You know what I'm saying? And I know Joker's a superstar and all that, but he doesn't have the popularity that you would like to see in the finals. You know what I'm saying? As the superstar. But to watch them play basketball is beautiful to me. It makes me proud of them. And it just makes me say, Eric Spoelstra, bro, you something else.
So here we go. I think Eric Spoelstra has done a great job coaching. And I even think one of the earlier episodes you can go back and I was like, there's a vast difference between the two best coaches in the league and then everybody else. And I think Spo was like up there. It was like Spo, her, and then like everybody else. I think I put Malone in third and then Mazzulla after that and then everybody after that. And those was the last coaches still in.
Are we out on Greg Popovich?
I was just talking about that was in the playoffs. But do I think Greg Popovich is still going to be a stellar coach? I don't think he gets rid of what made him a good coach. I just don't think that he's got those great players around him anymore to make him look like an even better coach.
Well, apparently he has the greatest player of all time on his team now. But anyway,
the jury is still out.
Right.
But yeah, no, I feel like the games have not been super fun in my opinion, and it's not because of a superstar. It's just because the Heat should not have been winning these games. Like I feel like your nephew, because they should not have been winning these games, and I don't have a lot of confidence in them winning these games, but they have. They have won the games, and it's cool. But the threes that they get off, the fact that they let Duncan Robinson get to the paint, like that shit that annoys me when I'm watching the game, because I'm like, Denver is supposed to be that much better that they don't let stupid shit like that happen. But
Duncan Robinson gets an N1 and starts mean mugging the whole stadium.
Bruh, like you letting a character from the Jimmy Neutron show put up buckets on y'all, like the shit bothers me.
Like when I look at Tyler Hero, I say, all right, Tyler Hero, he looks cool. He looked like he got money. He looked like all of that. Duncan Robinson looked like a regular guy.
A regular. And the fact that Denver is only playing 7 to 8 guys, like I just want to see more out of these games. I don't mind that they're lower scoring. I don't mind that there is defense being played, but these games aren't doing it for me.
I'm in love with these games. And it's just because I just love to see what the Heat do. I love to see them keep digging themselves out of holes. I love to see them when we keep saying there's no way that they can win, and they just keep winning. It just makes me on the edge of my seat, because it makes me say, if they win, they will show us something that has never been done before. An 8th seed has never won the NBA championship. A team with all of these undrafted players has never won an NBA championship. A play-in team had never even won a playoff series. You've never seen this before. And on the cool, you will never see it again. They won't even do it again. That's why I want to see it. And that's why I'm so excited. And if nothing else, if they could just make it a series, I'm sorry, that's exciting to me, man.
Yeah, no, that's one thing I did like. So we just watched game 2, and they did make it a game. I remember tweeting in like the second quarter, "Come on, Miami,
me too,
fight back." Yes. And that's all I wanted to see. Yes. And I guess I saw that, so I was cool with it. I guess it's not so much of what I saw from Miami that bothered me. The threes are egregious, but that's just where the league is now. But what I was pissed off was with Denver. If they were the guys who I thought was going to sweep this team, they underperformed last night.
No, their coach said that they didn't give effort.
Yeah.
He's like, he said, this is the NBA Finals, and I'm talking about effort. He said, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But hell, it's hard to give effort when you play 8 motherfuckers. You feel me?
Somebody got to be tired.
That's a lot of effort to give when you're only playing 8 people. But, I mean, if you look at the numbers, you didn't get nothing from Michael Porter Jr. He was 2 for 8 with 5 points. You didn't get really nothing from Caldwell Pope. He had 6 points. He was 1 for 4. You got 41 from Yoke, 18 from Murray, and 12 from Aaron Gordon.
And even Christian Brown, like, I know he a rookie and he impacts the game in a bunch of ways, but I would like more than 6 points from him too.
I mean, he made every shot he took, so you can only say, I want you to take more.
That's what I'm saying. I just need him to get more opportunities at the basket.
It's just, I don't see how the Nuggets lost this game, bro, and I watched it, bro.
Me neither.
Like, they lost the fourth quarter 36-25, bro.
Yeah, bro, that's just a fight thing.
They really lost the game when they let Miami come out the gates and run it up.
Yeah, after the halftime.
It was like 21-8. No, in the very first quarter. Miami took off on them like 21-8. Then the Nuggets had to come all the way back, and then the Nuggets ended up going up by double digits.
That's what I'm saying. They was up by enough. Like, when teams go up in the first quarter, it makes it's a lasting impact on the rest of the game, but you have the rest of the game to reverse that.
Yeah. Hell, the Heat won the first quarter 26-23. And then the Nuggets won the next 2 quarters, and they won quarter 2 by almost double digits. Like, they should have closed the game out.
Yeah, bro.
That's
a game that you let slip away.
And you can't do that against these guys.
Not all.
You can't do that. You can't do that. And it's because this is why I love the Miami Heat. Like, I'm on some, like, could I become a Miami Heat fan? Like, that's how much I'm loving the Miami Heat's run. Like, early in the playoffs, I was like, I'm rooting for the Miami Heat. When our first episode of this show, I was like, I'm rooting for the Miami Heat. And it's because I love a team that plays in a way of, you're going to have to beat us. You know what I'm saying? Denver didn't play like you're going to have to beat us. Denver played how you feel. We beat ourselves last night.
Yeah.
Miami doesn't play we beat ourselves basketball. They play you're going to have to beat us. Because game one, you even had to beat them. And they had motherfuckers shot over 10 and shit in game one. But they were still like, nah, y'all going to have to beat us because they're going to fight. They're going to claw all the way into the end of the game, bro. You're going to have to beat them. And I just like that. So if you go out there and you bullshit, or you go out there and you think it's over, or you go out there and think that they're just going to lay down, you're going to get beat.
So what needs to change? Like, what does Denver need to do to make sure the shit that happened last game don't happen again?
To me, they gotta play better defense.
Okay. Yeah.
You want to know something I found out the other day that I thought was crazy? It's something that the NBA recently started tracking, is that the Miami Heat, all through the playoffs, they have been leading the NBA in what's called hustle statistics. You familiar? You ever heard of these?
I can see that.
Yeah, me too. It's like they get the most loose balls. They got the most tipped passes. They got all of this shit. And they were saying like part of the culture and what they be telling these undrafted dudes is that like a top pick should never beat you to a loose ball. And I'm like, yo, that kind of mentality is literally what everyone is, especially old heads, is what everybody's saying they want out of these guys. And when they're getting it, they're not loving them. I'm loving the Miami Heat because they are giving me everything. If you ever played real basketball in your life, if you ever played real sports in your life, you know that it's all about giving your all.
Whatever you got left to give in the tank, leaving it on the court.
Exactly. Especially if you're not super talented. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I just got to go out there and give it my all. And, you know, I come from the Kobe Bryant, Russell Westbrook fandom of watching superstars that make you feel like, hey, I'm giving my all. But when nobody guys are out there giving their all and they're giving it in a way that makes them overachieve, I just can't get enough of it, man. So what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to play better defense. Mm-hmm. They're going to have to not let them get wide open shots. And the whole offense can't just be Joker. Bro, they was running the zone where Joker was getting the ball at the top of the free throw line, like right at the free throw line, and Strus will be guarding him. So he'll just like end up backing down Strus and then like shoot the shot over him. But I'm like, when they pick you up full court and then your offense is Joker got to back down some little dude, so he ain't really got the kickouts, he ain't really got the pick and roll. It's like it's a very slow way to score, and it's a very repetitive way to score. And you know, Joker had 28 shot attempts last night. Like, that's a lot of shot attempts for Joker. He was 16 of 28. That's very unlike him. He shoot 28 shots. You expect him to make 24 or 23. You know what I'm saying? So it's been tricky on what they should do. But one thing that you always got to keep in mind, especially when it comes to coaching, is I said this earlier before the series even started, is the Heat have been here before. Yeah. All of that matters. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you got to pay your dues before you win one. You know what I'm saying? Even LeBron had to pay his dues before he won one. You know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you make it to the finals, you got to pay your dues, because even we was thinking that for the Celtics. Like, had the Celtics paid their dues to the point where they could go win now. But I just think Denver's got to play better defense.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got to be a better defense thing. And I believe they gotta get the rest of the team involved. Like, I understand the game plan of Miami was to turn Joker into a scorer, and they did that. They succeeded. Backing down Max Strus is successful in my eyes. If you wanted to get him to score the ball, I'm not mad at having Max Strus play a post up Joker. But I feel like if you're going to get that effort out of Joker, I need the rest of the troops to rally up and say, hey, we're not going to let them make Joker play one-on-one.
Right.
The other big guys, you got Michael Porter Jr., who I think is around the same time as Bam. So if you got a big body like that, I need some of those, Aaron Gordon, I need some of those guys to run through that 2-3. Make a quick kick out, and the guards are fast enough and good enough shooters that they can do the same shit Duncan Robinson is doing. Get a nice pump fake, get to the rack. And I just feel like they were settling too much and not playing defense and not giving Joker the help that he needed.
Duncan Robinson can never get to the rack. No, never. Especially not like in a non-fast break situation. Duncan Robinson should never be able to put the ball on the floor and get all the way to the hoop on you. And it's crazy because we see him do the same thing against Boston.
Yeah.
And I thought the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can never get to the rack, bro. You can't allow him to ever get to the rack. Like, you just can't. You know, Duncan Robinson is a shooter.
Exactly.
You know, he's a shooter. I don't know, man. Aaron Gordon, hell, he gave you 12 points, 7 rebounds, and he was 2 for 2 from 3.
Yeah.
And he hit a clutch 3. When
the people who showed up on offense, they were there. They did good. I guess I just need everybody to show up on defense.
Well, I mean, you can't have Michael Porter shooting 1 for 6 from 3 with 5 points, though. You can't have that. You can't have that. You can't have that. You can't have that. Nah. But in Miami's end, bro, like, to me, you got some, even though he shot 2 for 9, you got some good minutes out of Kevin Love. Some good minutes. And like I say, when you can put Kevin Love on Joker, you can move stuff around to actually have it to where Jimmy can guard Jamal Murray, which honestly, Jimmy shouldn't even be able to guard Jamal Murray, but that's another story for another day. It's interesting. And then Gabe Vincent gave you 23.
Yeah, Gabe Vincent a hooper. Wait, why shouldn't Jimmy Butler be able to guard Jamal Murray?
He's tall as shit.
You said shouldn't.
He shouldn't. He's tall as shit. Well, how tall is Jamal Murray? 6'2", 6'3"?
Something around there.
A 6'8" player should not be able to guard him on the perimeter, dog.
But
yeah.
Jimmy is a defender, though.
Yeah.
If you're a defensive player, you should be able to guard whatever.
I don't disagree with that. But I don't know, man. I just don't feel like you can let Jimmy Butler like really take you out the game, bro. Like, and he got to give you so much on offense. Like, nah.
I think whoever is Jimmy's man on Denver needs to show up more. If Jimmy's not going to play the
Aaron
fast,
Gordon.
If you got a smaller body on Aaron Gordon, but he did what he had to do. But you know, if you got Jimmy Butler saying, "Hey, I'm a guard, the smaller guard. Make sure he don't get his buckets. The rest of y'all do whatever." Then the rest of the team should not have been able to defend Denver. They should not have been able to
had a good game in about 5 games in a row.
Yeah.
He hasn't. That's another reason why Miami is so impressive. Like, he shot 7 for 19 last night with 21 points.
Yeah.
But
that's Heat culture.
He had 21. Bam had 21. Gabe Vincent had 23. If they all score 60 points together, you're gonna lose.
That's Heat culture. And you know what? Mark Malone was like, "Hey, if Bam is the one that got to score 26 points, we'll live with that." And that's cool.
But you can't give it to all 3
but
of them.
You can't give it to 3 other players.
You can't give it to 3 of them. Nah, you can't. You can't have 3 guys on that team got 20 points when you got 2 guys in your starting lineup that didn't have 10.
Yeah, hell nah.
You're not going to win if you do that. All right. Here's a great question. All right. We speak objectively on this show. Okay. Do the Heat have any chance of winning the NBA Finals?
No. No.
The Heat have no chance of winning the NBA Finals, according to Cam.
I don't think so.
Right. I don't feel comfortable saying this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. The Heat have a chance. They have a chance. How good of a chance do they have? Man, I don't know, bro. Like, honestly, bro, I'm with you. The Heat have no chance of winning the NBA Finals, bro.
The only thing that might make me think they do is because, like you said, paying dues before you get there, and Denver hasn't gotten there. That's the only thing that kind of replayed in my mind when you asked me that question. And so if I'm going with that, because they've been there before, that is their chance. You're right. Like, the fact that they've been there before is the chance that I could give them for winning the finals.
All right, let me ask you a different question. Is it a better chance that the Heat win the finals or that the Heat lose the finals 4-1?
I'd say it's a better chance they lose 4-1.
Me too, bruh. And you know I'm rooting for them.
Right.
You know I'm pulling for them. But I think it's a better chance that they lose 4-1 than they win the NBA Finals, bro.
A lot of people were saying that if they were thinking that the Denver Nuggets would win in 6 or 5, but
most people said 5 that I heard.
Yeah, most people said 5. And a lot of people that said 5 was like, well, it could go 6, but if I had to put money on it, it would be 5.
Right. Man. Okay. But let's say the Heat win game 3. It's on. The Heat win game 3 is on, bro.
No, it is. It is.
It's on.
I don't see him winning it.
Yeah. Because I mean, honestly, if you go up 2-1, I'm still not crazy confident because I just saw you lose 3 games in a row to the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
That's what really has me leery about the Heat.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't forget about that. I saw you
lose 3 games.
I didn't forget. Like, y'all lost 3 straight games.
No doubt. So that means you lost 3 games, you won 1, you lost 1, you won 1. That's not a great track record for your last few games, bro. And Jimmy Butler's played bad in all of them.
Right. Especially with a team that we've already been saying, we don't know how the hell y'all are winning.
No. I watched the game, evaluated the game with you, told you how they won, and I don't know how they won. I don't know how they won. Like, I watched a video on Nonstop Sports the other day about the Miami Heat, and it got me excited. Like, I sent it to the Heat fans that I knew. I was just like, man, this culture is something special. Like, they were saying, like, how every player got to be 10% body fat or less. You know what I'm saying? Just all kind of crazy shit. How you gotta wear knee pads and this kind of pad and that kind of pad at practice because they talk about they practice harder than the game. And I'm like, you like it's like high school where you can't put your knees on your hands on your knees to rest. I was like, yo, I'm amazed. I'm like, let's go, Miami, let's go. You feel me? So I'm like legitimately like I'm amazed. I'm like rooting for them. But when I look at what's going on and I look at what you're up against and I look at you being the 8th seed and I look at history and I look at who your superstar is, I say, man, you should not be able to win. Even though I am rooting for you. You feel me? Like I said from jump. I mean, I would rather the Heat win over the Lakers, and you know I fucks with the Lakers. Yeah. It's just I'm in love with this team, bro. You know, that's why I never be on some like I'm diehard this or I'm diehard this or I hate this team because I like this team because I see something like the Miami Heat and it's hard for me to not love it. Like I love it. Like, if I had to explain what I love about basketball, I could say the Miami Heat. And it's like, you mean the team? And I'm like, no, the what they do, how they play, how they approach the game. Like, the Miami Heat, like, a lot of people be saying people love Steph because he's not real tall and you can see yourself being like Steph. The Miami Heat make you feel like your homeboy that work at the Apple store could be on their team. Word. Like dead ass.
I think Miami is playing ball right now how they thought how they thought Memphis was playing ball. You know, all that grit and grind and get it out the mud and all that. Yes. That's what the Heat is playing like now. I ain't see that from the Grizzlies in this playoffs.
You can't. Their superstar has an ego. A guy that ain't even going to be in the league probably next year has an ego. You know what I'm saying? Like what's old dude's name? Dylan
Brooks.
He can't be on the Miami Heat.
Yeah, nah.
The Miami Heat wouldn't even talk to him. You feel what I'm saying? And it's because we don't do that here.
Yeah.
That's what I like about the Miami Heat, especially in a league filled with superstars that do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Because when I hear about this culture, I found out this culture is not new. Of course, we know that. This was the culture when LeBron and them was there.
Yeah.
They say after the first season, they lost to the Mavericks. LeBron went to Pat Riley and said, hey, man, we need a new coach. And Pat Riley said, nah, I'm good.
Boy, bro, trying to get rid of the coach, dog.
He do. But they were like, nah, I'm good. And I'm like, yo, to say that to LeBron, you know what I'm saying? Like, hell, if I'm like an Orlando Magic fan, right? Yeah. And they say, hey, LeBron thinking about coming to the Magic, and he want this, and this. What you think? I'll be like, hey, give him whatever he want. Word. That's what I would say. So to be like, hey, if he ain't willing to do this shit, then he can't play here anyway. So it ain't no reason to talk to him. That's what I like. And the way that it matches with who Jimmy Butler is, because Jimmy Butler's a second round guy?
I think so.
Yeah, I know nobody wanted him coming out of high school, and Marquette was the only school that like wanted to fuck with him. So he comes from that. You know what I'm saying? They say they call the G League the jungle. They be like, hey, if you hear from the jungle, you know how we get it. We diving on the floor. We taking the charge. We don't care who scored. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, that's how the Nuggets are.
Yeah.
They have the personality, but they don't have the attitude. You know what I'm saying? The personality is like, we're all selfless guys here. We just want to win. But that attitude of, we all selfless guys. We just want to win. And I'll whoop your ass to win. That's how the Heat are. That's how the Heat are. Like when Duncan Robinson makes his shot and he looks at the crowd and he mean mugging, it don't even match his look. You feel what I'm saying? It don't look right. It look like he being ridiculous. But he looking at it like, man, fuck all y'all, bro. And I like that, man.
Yeah, nah. It's not bad basketball to watch, right? Like, I didn't hate the game. I guess I wanted some more excitement. This isn't exciting. Is it good? Yes, but it doesn't excite me.
It do me, man. It excite me, man. It do, bro. Like for a team to run a fucking zone and stop people, man, that's coaching, that's scheme, that's strategy. These guys are so talented. So for you to be able to even beat them once or twice off more so strategy than talent and grit than talent, man, it's beautiful to watch, man. Yeah. It's beautiful. It reminds me of why I got attacked on TikTok yesterday. Let me tell you about this real quick, all right? So there's a LeBron post, right? And somebody leaves a comment that says, LeBron is the most talented basketball player of all time. Okay. And of course, you know, I disagree with this. Yeah. And I said, he's not. I said, he's the greatest athlete of all time, but he's not. I said, he has average to above average NBA talent. You feel me? And then I got attacked. Right. And then I was saying, like, LeBron is 6'8". He's a high jumper. He's a superior athlete. That's his game is all built upon his athleticism. Okay. And then the dude in the comments said, well, by that logic, you're saying that Shaq had average basketball talent. How dumb does that sound? And I said, of course Shaq had average basketball talent. I said, you think being 7'2", 300 pounds and strong as fuck is basketball talent? That's not basketball talent. You know what I'm saying? And we talked about this, how the commissioner was legitimately comparing Shaq beating people who have better basketball talent than him because he's bigger and stronger. LeBron beats people because he's bigger and stronger than them. And for people to act like that's not reality is crazy to me. Does LeBron have basketball talent? Yes. But does he have Kevin Durant basketball talent? No. Does he have Kyrie Irving basketball talent? No. Does he have Michael Jordan basketball talent? No. He has a supreme athleticism that he used to play basketball. Anybody that's played basketball has played basketball before where you play like in a fall league, right? During football season, you play in like a fall league, right? And then you go back and play that same team later during basketball season where they football players is on the team. And a team just whoop y'all ass by taking the ball because they bigger and faster and stronger than you. And y'all running down the court. They throwing oops and dunking that motherfucker. They running a full court press because they got all these athletes. And you out there with your basketball talent, but you don't have the athleticism they have. So y'all get blown off the court. Tell me that you ain't familiar with this.
I've seen it.
Exactly. Okay. That is athleticism. That is not basketball talent. LeBron James is the most, like I said, the most superior athlete I've ever seen. But to mistake that for basketball talent is not the same. He has basketball talent, but he doesn't have off the chart basketball talent. I'm like, you can't tell me that somebody got off the chart basketball talent and they shoot 70% from the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? And that's when he gave me the Shaq comment. I was like, of course he doesn't have high extreme basketball talent, because if he did, he would not shoot 70% from the free throw line. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about guys that don't dribble the ball like a guy like any of the guys that I just named. Basketball talent is dribbling and shooting a basketball. You feel what I'm saying? That is basketball talent. That is the game. So I'm like, y'all are crazy. Y'all just don't want to hear nothing about LeBron that you don't love. Your thoughts?
Basketball talent is, there's a lot you can talk about. Now, I don't think that guy was making his case any better by bringing up Shaq. Like, you can't do that, bro. Like, Shaq was a big motherfucker, and that's about it.
Yes,
he was stronger and bigger than everybody he played. Yes. So bringing up Shaq is not a good or valid point.
Even when I said it, he was like, well, if that's the case, why isn't every big guy successful like him? I'm like, there is no big guy like Shaq.
Yeah, nah. Did Shaq have skill? Yes. I've seen Shaq dream shake Jordan.
Yes.
Now, if you can do that, skill. I feel like that is a good skill to have. But it's no denying that his size and presence was the biggest part of his success. I don't know if I can say the same thing about LeBron.
It's
because basketball IQ is a thing. And I don't know where you put basketball IQ as far as a skill or not, but I think that that's something that people develop, just like a skill. A skill is something that you got to work on, or something that you got to get everybody else around you to buy into. And if LeBron has been able to go to every team that he's played on and give them his basketball IQ in many ways, hey, go do this. I seen plays in the Lakers game where he recognized schemes that was going on and telling and directing players to go and defend where they needed to be in the spots that they needed to be so that the team doesn't score. That's something that you can't teach. That's something that you got to know how to do and be able to incorporate into your game.
Okay. All right. His basketball IQ is his greatest basketball talent.
I agree, but that's huge because it's beyond a lot of other players. And I know you feel a way about his IQ, but his IQ is leagues beyond a lot of star players in the league.
Okay. All right. Take his basketball IQ, take his athleticism, take everything about him. Okay. Yeah. He has all of that. If he's 6'3", is he still in the league at 38 or 39 years old?
I doubt it. I don't think so.
That size. Okay. His ridiculous amount of athleticism and being the athletic freak that he is, that's what even allows him to still be able to play today. But he wouldn't be playing with that same athleticism if he was 6'3".
I mean, would KD be KD if he was 6'3"?
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't, bruh. KD is KD because at the size he is and as good as a shooter as he is, he can shoot over people. You're not shooting over people at 6'3".
Okay, if KD was 6'3", would he have made it to the NBA?
Yeah, probably.
If LeBron was 6'3", would he have made it to the NBA?
Yes, he'd be point guard. Because he's already a point guard.
LeBron cannot dribble the ball like that.
I ain't never seen nobody poke the ball away from Bron like they did from Jaylen Brown, who was an actual more of a guard type player than LeBron.
Jaylen Brown has terrible handles though.
He does.
They're terrible.
Like, KD too. KD has great handles.
Can handle the ball. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I've seen people poke the ball away from KD like that. I've never seen nobody poke the ball straight up from LeBron and take it down court. He not getting ripped.
Check it out. If LeBron is 6'3", how's he scoring?
With layups.
You're telling me a 6'3" LeBron? You're telling me a 6'3" LeBron is gonna get to the goal just as easy as he did before and shoot a layup and he gonna score?
Eric Bledsoe did it.
Who handles the ball better, Eric Bledsoe or LeBron?
Eric Bledsoe.
LeBron does not have a bag to handle the ball like that if he was short. LeBron gets to the goal, right? And when he gets to the goal, he has his 40-inch vertical and he's 6'8". So it's like, if I get to the goal, you're not finna come over and block it because I'm shooting a layup. You finna get dunked on. And the reason that you about to get dunked on is because I'm 6'8" with a 40-inch vertical. I'm strong as fuck. I'm dunking on you. I'm dunking on you. It's not he ain't finna go to the goal and do no finger roll and fucking break Kareem's records and shit. LeBron is bigger and stronger than you. His move when they get to the goal is I'm gonna do this spin move. And even if you know I'm doing the spin move, you're not finna block it. You're not finna do nothing. I'll dunk on everybody on this court because can't none of y'all jump with me and ain't none of y'all as big and strong as me. Fuck all y'all. That's how LeBron plays.
So you saying LeBron only play run and jump basketball?
No, I'm saying that's what he's great at.
Okay. But you saying he's not great good at nothing else.
No.
You don't trust his fadeaway in the mid range?
No.
I do.
I don't.
I do.
I don't. He's a great passer. You know what I'm saying? But his bread and butter is that I'm too gifted physically for you. And there's nothing wrong with that. When you pair that with a high basketball IQ, you have someone who I can easily argue is the greatest player of all time. But that doesn't make me say that he did it with high. I argue that Shaq is the greatest player of all time. You've even heard me say it when people say, oh, well, Shaq was the best player on that team. My response every time is whoever in the history of NBA would have been on that team at that time, Shaq would have been better than them.
Yeah.
And it's not because he has an extreme basketball talent. Like I said, they have average to maybe above average NBA basketball talent. But if you take somebody that's 7'2", 300 pounds and stronger than everybody, and they have slightly above average NBA talent, they're going to be the greatest player of all time. And I feel the same way about LeBron. If you say he has average or slightly above average NBA talent, but he also happens to be the greatest physical specimen of all time, yeah, he's probably going to be the greatest player of all time. But that don't mean that he has this extreme amount. He doesn't dribble the ball well. He doesn't make wide open shots well. He doesn't make free throws. Like if you look at advanced statistics, and because I heard somebody say he was a better shooter than Jordan. If you look at advanced statistics and they show where you score your points from the amount of feet out that you score your points from, LeBron's points are scored and within 3 feet. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I even think it's talent to get to the goal and score at 3 feet.
That's my thing. I think you got to have talent to do that.
I do think that. But I think it's more talent when someone like Kyrie Irving is scoring at the rim.
Because he's little.
Exactly. For LeBron, it's I'm bigger and stronger than you is how I'm scoring down here. And I'm not saying that that's not talent, but it's not a high level of basketball talent. It's not. It's I'm bigger than you, I'm stronger than you, I'm faster than you. There is no player in the history of the NBA that you've ever seen that's 6'8", 200 and whatever, 60 pounds that you think could run a 4.4 40 and jump a 45-inch vertical. He's the only one. Just like Shaq is the only guy like him. There's never been a player that's built like LeBron. There's definitely been players that have his basketball talent. I can name players that don't have Kyrie Irving's basketball talent. I can name players that don't have Kobe Bryant's basketball talent. I can name players that don't have Joker's basketball talent. There's dozens of players that have had LeBron James' basketball talent, but there's zero players that have been the physical specimen that he is.
Tons of players.
Now, those are facts.
Crazy. Tons of players with LeBron's talent is crazy.
Joker has his basketball talent. Everything LeBron can do, Joker can do, and a lot of it better. When it comes to passing, Joker can pass as well as LeBron. When it comes to shooting the three, he shoots the three better than LeBron. When it comes to post game, LeBron has no post game. So when it comes to post game, Joker's post game is better. His free throws are better. Why is LeBron better than him? Because Joker is not the physical specimen that LeBron is.
I'm not going to argue that Joker has similar feats to LeBron. But I will say is there's not plenty of guys that can play like Joker and LeBron. There's just not.
I agree. But over the history of the basketball game, there's been dozens of them.
Dozens of players.
At least LeBron's basketball talent. Yes.
Dozens of players with the talent of LeBron and Jokic.
Dozens, for sure. No, not Joker. LeBron. Joker's basketball talent is way above LeBron's. It's way above LeBron's.
Way above.
Joker's not, he's not beating you because he's a physical specimen. He's not. He's beating you because he plays the game at his pace. He don't change. He doesn't get rattled. You know what I'm saying? Like all of those things. LeBron, you definitely know he has a reputation for getting rattled.
Yeah, but he plays his game. Like nobody's gonna stop until this season we've seen him pass away layups and stuff like that. But when it comes to LeBron going to the basket, getting his shots, getting his layups, even the fuck you three, that's his signature joint where he look at the ball and then step and shoot that bitch.
Of course,
those are things that LeBron has built his game on, and I don't think anybody can take that away from him. He has things that separate him from the rest of the league, and he does those things well.
Here's a good example of what I mean, okay? When you think about Joker, when you think about Kobe, when you think about Tim Duncan, when you think about Kyrie Irving, right? What you just gave LeBron props for was building his game over the years, right?
Right.
If you think of all of those guys, when you think about the shit that they could do it when they stepped into the league. To me, that's what I'm talking about when I say basketball talent.
Who?
Yes.
Who was doing what they were doing? Steph was not doing Steph things when he got in the league. He could shoot the three.
A great shooter. Exactly. That's my point.
Okay.
He was doing that from the time he touched the league. Kyrie Irving, how he handled a rock. He was doing that from the time he touched the league. Like, the advancements that LeBron has had to make on his game is because that's not natural basketball talent for him.
Bro,
He's been living off athleticism.
LeBron hasn't been a phenomenal passer since the day he stepped foot in the league.
I'll give you that.
LeBron has not also been able to hit turnaround fadeaway jumpers since he got in the league. Bro, yes, he was.
No, I get it. His first shot he ever made was a turnaround jumper. But LeBron James consistently shooting the ball, period, was not something that he did when he came into the league. That shit came in like Miami. Because like I said, me and you even had the talk where the Spurs game plan was to let him shoot. You're deep in your career and a team beats you by letting you shoot. You can't tell me that a guy that you can do this to has some extreme phenomenal level of basketball talent. The reason we're letting you shoot is because you're too fast and strong for us to guard you out there, and we can't keep up with you or stop you when you get to the rim. So what we're going to do is we're going to just wait for you at the rim. So that's how we stop your athleticism, by challenging your basketball talent. Make a wide open shot.
So shooting from three is different.
Shooting,
from
period.
No, bruh, because I think him in the painted area, because
they gave him that. The Spurs gave him the mid range.
They gave him.
He took it and missed it, and they lost. They gave him the mid range. It wasn't just a three. They gave him the mid range.
Man, I've seen LeBron make mid range jumpers his entire career, bruh. And you telling me that he wasn't talented enough to do it? I have not
consistently seen him make mid range jumpers throughout his whole career, bro. I promise we can look at the advanced analytics, and I promise you that the parts of his career that are even till this day where he's shooting from 5 feet to 3-point line, his percentages are extremely low.
We're gonna have to bring that up one day.
I'm 100% sure. I'm 100% sure, bro.
But even with the mid-range shots, right? If they're not all falling, if the threes look a little inconsistent, that's a part of his game. He knows he has to mix those shots in with his ability to get to the basket. And more than just being stronger than people, because LeBron has never been bigger than the other players since the other team center. He's rarely bigger than the other
guy guarding him.
That's fine. That's fine. KD is usually better than the other guy guarding him, but KD is not going to make that adjustment to go to the lane like LeBron is, because he's not LeBron. He doesn't have that skill set.
He doesn't have his athleticism. If KD had a 45-inch vertical, I promise you he would be going to the rack and dunking on the center that's down there.
Every time KD goes to the basket, now KD is typically taller than a lot of the players who he will meet at the rim. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he can elevate his skill, or even because he don't got to dunk everything, right? He could play under the basket. He could do a quick little cradle, layup. I've seen LeBron do those. I've seen LeBron stay in the air and do the switch hand Jordan thing. Since we talk about talent and skill, I've seen LeBron do talented things.
Again, I'm not saying that he has low basketball talent. I'm not saying he has no basketball talent. I'm saying that it's average or maybe above average. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it is not all-time great.
I see what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying.
I just
That's
disagree.
all I'm saying. Okay, from a standpoint of what you consider to be basketball talent, who has more basketball talent, LeBron James or Kevin Durant?
LeBron James.
Okay, so you remember when we talked about, like, if you go doing like an eye test, you can say that Kevin Durant is the greatest basketball player of all time?
I don't think he's the greatest basketball player.
Yep.
I think he's the perfect basketball player, in my opinion. I don't think he's the greatest, but I think he is the perfect basketball player.
Okay. As far as like, but that's why I'm saying it. Like, to me, he's the perfect basketball player because of his talent. You feel what I'm saying?
He's the perfect basketball player because of a combination of both.
Okay, of course. Again, of course, his height and his talent. Okay? His height and his talent. LeBron James is not the perfect basketball player. No. And in every way that he's not the perfect basketball player, it has to do with basketball talent. It don't have to do with his height. It has to do with basketball talent in any way that he's not a perfect basketball player, because he's a perfect athlete.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to tell people, is like, he's the greatest basketball player of all time. If you call him that, it's because he's the greatest athlete ever. Like, he played basketball. And if we can all admit he's the greatest athlete ever, only things that he could be lacking in is basketball talent. So he can't be the greatest basketball talent ever and the greatest athlete ever, because then he would for sure be the GOAT.
Right. I don't think he's the best basketball talent. That it's not crazy to say that LeBron is not the best basketball talent. I don't think anybody would say that he is, but average to slightly above average is crazy.
Above average. Okay, you can even say good. That still doesn't put him in the all-time greatest debate for basketball talent. That's all I'm saying.
All you're saying is that he's a great basketball player, he's a great athlete, but he's not in the greatest of all times as far as talent is concerned.
No. All right, not as far as what I consider to be basketball talent. As far as talent, period, he is. That's why I continue to use the phrase basketball talent. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, if somebody said, what is basketball talent to you? I would say Kyrie Irving.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason that I would say that is because he is, to me, the perfect basketball player if you're saying, what is basketball talent? And it's just because there's just nothing that he can't do. He can do things that I honestly think are impossible. The way that he can finish at the rim with either hand, to me, is too much to ask of a human. You feel what I'm saying? So if you say, what is the definition of basketball talent? My answer is Kyrie Irving.
Okay. I wanted to ask you, where does Magic Johnson rank as far as talented basketball players?
Very low to me.
And I had to ask because of how you felt about Bron. So I know there was just no way you would have had him up there or above LeBron.
No, Larry Bird is better than Magic Johnson.
Talent-wise.
Period. In basketball, talent-wise, it's not even close. But he's a better player than him. I don't know why everyone acts like that. Like, I remember, like, deep in LeBron's career, people were still saying, like, LeBron hasn't passed Magic yet. Like, LeBron was better than Magic, to me, his first year in the league.
Well, because
I don't give a fuck what nobody says. LeBron is way better than Magic.
I think, well, me too. But I think ring culture was the reason why, because Magic had 5. Right.
Yeah, but Magic is LeBron's comparison. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So when you say Magic is LeBron's comparison, he's 6'8" and he's LeBron's comparison. It's like, okay, well, LeBron's more gifted than him in every way. What is there to compare? You know, we're the same height. I run faster than you. I jump higher than you. I can do all the kind of crazy passes that you can do. Neither one of us are great shooters. I'm way better than you. You know, but again, to me, LeBron is what you get if you take Magic Johnson and you make him a superior athlete.
Yeah. Magic had a layup package though. Like maybe it's not Kyrie's, but for that time, he might have been the Kyrie of the layups back then.
I mean, to be real with you, to me, he has more basketball talent than LeBron. But because of LeBron's athleticism, he's not even in LeBron's fucking stratosphere. You know,
I think their talent levels are right on around the same, in my opinion.
I'm fine with that.
But I think, like you said, just the sheer, you know, athleticism of LeBron is what puts him leagues over the league.
Yeah, I know anyone would say it's blasphemous for me to say that Magic Johnson doesn't have some extreme level of basketball talent, but he doesn't. You know, his handles weren't crazy. His shot wasn't great. He had a good total package of a lot of basketball talent and the way that he could pass the ball and who he was surrounded around. But if you put like him in like Jordan's position, you know what I'm saying? Where he was playing with these shitty ass players and he was getting them to the playoffs and scoring 63 points in playoffs and shit. If you think Magic Johnson could do that, he can't. It's not even close. Like, he would never be able to do that. LeBron could do that, but because of his athleticism. Yeah, LeBron gets the job done with athleticism. Like, to me, the most comparable player to LeBron is Shaq. As crazy as that sounds. But they remind me of each other more than any other two players.
Shaq and LeBron. Just because the physical specimens that they are with the athleticism that you have for that body type, it makes them hard to stop. And it's not because of basketball. It's because of I'm more physically gifted than you. And it's cool and it's impressive to see.
But it's different from what I consider to be basketball talent.
Was Jordan really playing with like that shitty of a roster?
Yeah.
Outside of Scotty?
No, I'm saying when he hit the league, when it wasn't.
Oh, right. Oh, so put him in those shoes in 80, 85.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're just getting, if that was Magic Johnson, they would just be getting shit on.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Yeah. No, Jordan's team was stacked when he was winning championships.
Yeah, bro.
Those
championship teams were good teams.
Yeah, they were stacked. Like, you can argue like Steve Kerr is greatest shooter of all time. You definitely can argue Dennis Rodman is the greatest rebounder of all time. You can argue that Scottie Pippen is the greatest wing defender of all time. Hell, you can argue that Dennis Rodman is the greatest defender of all time. Like, Steve Kerr's automatic. John Paxson, automatic. You know what I'm saying? Tony Kukoc was the best international player of all time at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jordan's teams were stacked. Yeah. I would never pretend that to me, I hold that against Jordan in the GOAT debate.
Okay.
Your teams were stacked.
Fair.
Yeah. I definitely hold it against them. So, yeah.
Magic had good rosters in the championship too. But
Magic rosters were stacked.
Yeah. But I think that's one of the arguments that a lot of people seem to leave out when they talk about championship rings and everything like that. They never really bring up how good the team surrounding those stars were.
I always say that. That's why I always say Kobe Bryant is the only championship winner to win a championship in the last 25 years without another top 75 player. Only Kobe. Out of all the 75, he's the only one.
Damn, Jason Kidd in the top 75?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I was going to say, because Dirk is still the most respected championship ring that I've seen in my lifetime.
I don't know, man. D Wade's was tough. D Wade's was tough, man.
Tougher than Dirk's?
Shit, he beat Dirk.
He did.
Dirk beat him.
That's what I'm saying.
But, oh, man. All right, check. I don't know, bro. Because that year, Dirk beat, I want to say, Tim Duncan.
Kobe.
He swept
KD.
Kobe's team. Damn.
That's what I'm saying. I don't remember who all D Wade had to get through.
That's all time right there, bro.
Bruh, that's the best ring I've ever seen in my life,
bro. That is the best ring I ever seen in my life.
But I think, and the rest of his team, I know Jason Kidd was on top 75, so he can't take that from Kobe. But
that's true.
The rest of that team, like JJ Barea, got more minutes than Jason Kidd down the stretch in a lot of those games.
And they was getting clutch buckets, bro. I worked with this reminds you of the Heat shit we was talking about on the cool.
Yeah.
I worked with a dude that played basketball with JJ Barrera, and then he just FaceTimed him one day. I was like, JJ Barrera is such a regular cat that I know somebody that can FaceTime him. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, this dude was like a legend, like in the local area. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like a nobody FaceTimed him, but you know what I'm saying? But it was kind of crazy to see. But man, that had to be the realest ring I ever seen in my whole life. Like, to me, it's all time.
Yeah. The teams that he had to play. It's not even the fact that the team that he had. It's just the fact that the team that he had played who he did and beat them. Yes, because like we always say, you can only beat who's in front of you, but when you have that in front of you, like Kobe and them was off back-to-back rings. Yeah, and everybody that they played was pretty much like healthy full rosters. Like they didn't really run into no injured-ridden teams. Dirk Nowitzki, well, I actually think Dirk Nowitzki is better than people think he is all time. Me too. Before Steph won his last ring, I had Dirk Nowitzki ahead of Steph still. I don't anymore. Yeah. After Steph won his last ring, it was really time to put some respect on his name. Yeah, that's 4 rings in such a short time span too. Yeah. But yeah, Dirk Nowitzki has the best ring run I've ever seen. I want to disagree. That's why I keep thinking about it, because I want to disagree. Because D Wade's was crazy too. And D Wade, I want to say he was down 2-0 and they was down by 20 in game 3. And we know what happens when you go down 0-3. I think it's understated how good some of those quote unquote bench warmers were for that Miami team. Because Gary Payton gave good minutes, Alonzo Mourning gave good minutes. All those older cats, they came through when they needed to for that young D Wade team.
I feel like people like that for when LeBron and them won they ring.
Yeah.
People be like, LeBron carried this team and LeBron carried that team. And I'm like, yo, that look like and people now try to go back and argue that the Heat team wasn't a super team. LeBron fans are crazy.
That's cap.
They're crazy, bro. But yes, bro, the Mike Millers and Shane Battiers, and I'm like, man, dog, and how Chris Bosh changed his game. Those Heat teams to me should have won 4 titles in a row.
Yeah, that shit means something. Like a lot of those dudes were giving their all on the court. Norris Cole was providing great minutes.
He was.
You had Ray Allen. Like there was a lot of players on that team who not only still had a lot of juice left in them, but they had a lot to contribute to the team. Is if it wasn't just putting a body on somebody, if it wasn't just being in timely corners to hit threes, like these players came through for LeBron.
Let me ask you this, okay? I hate to do it, but we're gonna end on this. All right. I think it's very fair to hold it against LeBron, his finals record, or how many rings he has, just due to the fact that even when he did win, he was on stacked teams, bro.
Yeah. Except Cleveland.
That's his crowning achievement, winning in Cleveland.
Yeah.
That's to me where he got into the GOAT debate for real.
Yeah. The same thing that you said about Steph last ring, that's how I felt about LeBron's Cleveland ring.
Yeah. LeBron's Cleveland ring was special, man. That was special, man. But that team was stacked.
That was a good team, but he didn't get to play with them when it counted.
I mean, he had Kyrie, man.
Kyrie is Kyrie, but LeBron and Kyrie is not a stacked team in my opinion.
They still had Kevin Love.
Kevin Love. Oh, okay. The year that they won, Kevin Love was playing. When they lost, Kevin Love and Kyrie was hurt.
Yes, that's a stacked team still, man. Like, and don't look at Kyrie's body of work. Look at what he was at that point in time. Yeah, they're stacked. Like, yeah.
Was Kevin Love still Kevin Love when they played? He wasn't Minnesota Timberwolves Kevin Love.
Nah, but he was Cavaliers. I'm still hooping Kevin Love.
Was he better than Chris Bosh was on the Heat?
No.
Then I can't say that was a super team. Because Chris Bosh.
That just goes to show how stacked that Miami team was.
Yeah.
LeBron not winning the title there 4 years in a row, to me, for real, no bullshit, I hold that against him.
Yeah. He came up short. And I'll always say that. He came up short in Miami.
Okay. So I hate to go back to this. Okay. He's had stacked teams.
Yeah.
He has superior athleticism. He has less rings because of basketball talent, bro. I'm sorry, but that is the answer.
Wow.
You have all the athleticism. You have stacked teams. The reason you've fallen short, bro, is because of basketball talent, bro. That is the only answer that could exist. It's not because your athleticism waned. It's not because you weren't on great teams. It's not because something happened to where you didn't make it to the finals. It's basketball talent. That is what made him. That's what made him not unstoppable. That's what has made him not unbeatable. It's a certain lack of basketball talent that he doesn't have. Why did he lose if that's not the reason?
The only reason why I can't say that's true, because we've seen players like you were talking about who had less talent. We put Shaq and Magic in that same argument with LeBron not having talent. Those guys won.
Right.
So did they win because of a lack of a talent, or did they win because they had somebody else on their team who was also talented enough to outweigh the non-talent that those superstars like Bron, Magic, and Shaq didn't have?
All right. Out of Magic and Shaq, which one of them the GOAT?
Shaq.
No, which one of them the GOAT for real? Like, if you say, hey, this person the GOAT out of everybody ever.
Oh, they'll probably
name. No, I'm saying you personally. Do you name Shaq or Magic if you're saying who the GOAT? No. No, out of everybody, LeBron's included too.
Oh,
okay? Out of everybody.
Oh,
do you ever pick Shaq or Magic?
No.
So it's different for LeBron, bro.
How?
Because he the GOAT.
To me, somebody else might have Shaq and Magic in that.
No, they don't.
Somebody else might have Shaq and Magic above LeBron and the GOAT.
Nobody's opinion that you would respect. I'm saying first, period. Number one, no matter if you got whoever you pick, people are going to pick LeBron. People are never going to pick Magic or Shaq. And the reason that you're not going to pick Magic or Shaq is for the exact same reason that I'm saying right now.
Talent?
Yes. You don't have the basketball talent of the people that I'm going to name as the GOAT. Mm-hmm. You don't. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like I said, you had the teams. You have the athleticism. What are you lacking?
All right. So I think I just figured it out. I figured it out why this talent conversation has been weighing on my conscience so heavily, because I disagree, but I agree. And I think I agree because I don't want to use the word talent. I want to use the word skill. Okay. Because talent is something that you both of them, talent and skill is something that you work on. But I think talent can be aided by your physicality. Okay. Like your talent can be either hindered or helped by your physical. Skill is another thing. Skill, it doesn't matter how big you are, it doesn't matter how small you are. If you're skilled, you can do what you want to do. But talent, I think, is more about what you have on the outside that combines what you have on the inside. It's kind of like a tandem. They got to work.
Okay, name something that's a skill so I can make sure we're on the same
page. Shooting a three is a skill because all the players who can average 30 points can put the ball in the hoop. Putting the ball in the hoop is talent. Shooting the ball from 15 to 30 is a skill. So when you say LeBron and Magic couldn't shoot the ball like that, that's a skill. They could score with the best of them, and that's where the talent comes in. And they could score with the best of them because their talent played in tandem with how big they were, how fast they were, and just how dominant they were. When I speak on Shaq,
I think like skill and talent are the same.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. And especially, yeah. And it's just because like how you say, like shooting a three is a skill. Yeah. Right. But like that hand-eye coordination, that being able to be accurate that way, that's a talent to me. That because it can't be taught. You know what I'm saying? LeBron practiced on that skill to the point where it increased. Yeah. But you can see that it's not natural. You feel what I'm saying? To the point where it's like it could never, like he could never be a great free throw shooter. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's talent. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, yeah, it's talent. Just because other players work on making their free throw damn near perfect, but Steph never had to practice free throws in a way of like where you're serviceable. You know what I'm saying? LeBron is serviceable at a lot of things. And to me, I look at that as talent. Because to me, like, skill is like, yeah, skill and talent, I'm giving them a hand to hand just in that regard, just because, yeah, because like with accuracy, like if you're a quarterback and you're zipping that motherfucker, you spot on every single time, and then somebody else has this strong arm, but they're just wildly inaccurate, they'll never be able to practice to be as accurate as you if they're 25 years old. You know what I'm saying? They'll never be able to do that because you have that natural talent to be accurate, but you might be able to work on making yourself stronger. You know what I'm saying? But that accuracy to me is a talent. Okay. In football, it seemed a little different. All right. So I want to ask you this. On the topic of skill and talent, D-Wade and Jimmy Butler. These are two players that I think are both very talented. They're both very talented. They're both very skilled.
but they're not the greatest shooters. They're not great at any one thing. They're good at all things. Like, I don't remember what D Wade was great at doing. Maybe cutting and getting to the basket is something that I've always highlighted as what makes D Wade the best. He was flash. He could get to the basket whenever he wanted. But when he couldn't do it anymore physically, what was his skill? What was the talent that he had to rely on? And even Jimmy Butler, what is the skill or talent that Jimmy Butler relies on?
Well, for starters, we can all start with, we have no idea why Jimmy Butler is so great. We have no idea why Jimmy Butler can turn into a different player in the playoffs. We have no idea why the Miami Heat are in the NBA Finals. Like, I can't even begin to explain this to you. I don't know. I don't know how Jimmy Butler does what he does. And also, when you look at him and you see his talent and you see his skill, you look at him and you say, I don't know.
But you agree that he is talented.
Oh, for sure. But not in a off the charts type of way.
So he is one of those average to above average talent.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard to say why he does what he does. For D Wade, it's more athleticism.
So it was athleticism.
Once his athleticism went away, he wasn't D Wade anymore.
Okay.
Like when people say, well, that last year D Wade was washed, they're only saying it because he wasn't as athletic anymore.
So he's also in that average to above average talent range.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That lived off of his athleticism.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. It's why when it was gone, he was done. Okay. You know, it's how when people say, oh, you had Air Jordan, and then he wins his last few championships shooting mid-range jumpers. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron would never be able to do that.
But he did.
No, he didn't. LeBron scores his baskets at the bucket. Michael Jordan scored the majority of his shots shooting mid-range jumpers later in his career. LeBron James would never be able to do that.
He won't be. Well, being able to is different. I think he is fully able to do that. I think he is still leagues above people at getting to the rim, that he doesn't have to just primarily shoot mid-range jumpers. He mixes them into his game. He takes his 1 to 2 fuck you threes. He takes his mid-range shots, but his bread and butter has always been getting to the rim. I think as he gets older, he finds a way to mix all of those components in his game a little better.
I don't. I mean, he's already old. Hell, when Aaron Gordon blocked his shot to get them eliminated from the playoffs, why didn't he shoot a mid-range jumper there?
It's because he took
Besides
two
the fact, I mean, it wouldn't have been two people if he stopped and shot a mid-range jumper and didn't go to the basket. He didn't shoot a mid-range jumper because he would have missed it. And I get everybody says, oh, LeBron has all these clutch stats and all blah, 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 blah. Like the clutch stats are like plus or minus to me when it comes to a player. Because they say it's 3 seconds left and he's shooting a shot here and he's doing this and he's doing that. Like clutch stats to me are the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I can give example after example after example when LeBron has disappeared in the fourth quarter in times where his team needed him to carry them.
But we've seen the charts. We've seen like the charts of the most clutch points, and LeBron is up there if I'm not mistaken.
He is up there because it doesn't include the fourth quarter. It includes the last minute, 2 minutes or whatever. And he's played more games than everybody else. LeBron is always going to have the most this and the most that because he's played more games than everybody else. But again, when I talk about his teams and I talk about his athleticism and we talk about how great he is, there is only one explanation for why he didn't win more than Jordan or win more than Kobe. And it has to do with basketball talent. That is it. That is it. That is it. There is nothing else. There is nothing else. Because if you ask me, hey, if you took the greatest players from Kobe Bryant's draft class when they were all in their prime and they're all under 30 years old and they played on the same team for 4 years in a row, how many championships do I truly think that they would win? And the answer to me would be 4. And if you said the same thing with Michael Jordan, the answer to me would be 4. If I took the greatest players from Kobe Bryant's draft class, I said, all right, y'all are in your prime and it's Allen Iverson's on the team with you, Kobe Bryant's on the team with you, and Ray Allen's on the team with you. Y'all three are on the same team, and y'all are all 27 years old, and y'all are all 28 years old, and y'all are going to be on the same team. What team is going to beat them? If I have Allen Iverson in his prime, Kobe Bryant and Ray Allen on the team together, and everybody else has their regular ass teams, they're going to win 4 championships in a row. They just are. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just are. And it's because of, hell, all three of their basketball talent, to be completely honest with you.
So if people who have basketball talent, like your Steph Curry's, never win another one, are the reasons why he won't win again because of talent?
No, the reasons that he won't win again is because, well, for starters, look at his teams.
Okay.
You know, if you gave Steph Curry a team right now that was stacked, of course they would win. You know what I'm saying? They would win.
Take LeBron off and put Steph on that Lakers team. Give Steph AD.
Mm-hmm.
Does Steph's talent make that team different? Does Steph's talent make that team better?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I say they would have at least made it to where they made it this year. They would have, like, if you swap, they would have at least gotten to the Western Conference Finals and gotten swept at least.
Oh, so they make it to exactly where LeBron got.
Yeah, but for different reasons. Steph's getting there off basketball talent. LeBron's going to get there off athleticism. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just the truth.
Okay.
It's just the truth, you know? And again, if LeBron was Steph's height with his exact same basketball talent, he'd be out of the league already.
Okay.
You know, that's just what it is. Steph doesn't have that athleticism, but he still has all his basketball talent, which allows him to still be in the league. LeBron has his height and athleticism, which allows him to still be in the league.
But what about all the other, like, 6'8" to 6'9" players who had that athletic build? They could jump out the gym. Where are they at?
Who are they? Name one of them.
Well, Jeff Green's still in the league. But Jeff Green is no star on anybody's team. But
just period. You can't pick a player that's 6'8" that can jump like LeBron and is built like LeBron that's in the NBA. He's the only one that ever existed. There is none. He's the only one that ever existed. That's why I say he's like Shaq. The body type of Shaq with his athleticism has never existed. And Shaq came into the NBA in 1992. And we still, to this day, have never, ever seen another player like him.
All right. Well, if there's no player like LeBron or Shaq, then I feel like it's hard to even have conversations like this because nobody else has done it. Until somebody else like them has done it, then that's when we could say, well, if they had more skill or talent, then they would be, having more rings. We don't know. These guys are the prototypes at what their build and skill set is.
Okay, then I go back to the question that I originally asked. If LeBron is a superior athlete, he has had these great teams, and he has had the chance to win more championships, what was it that kept him from doing it?
Health.
We know it. How? He been healthy. We know it wasn't his athleticism. We know it's not there.
But maybe it is.
Where's he lacking at in athleticism?
All right, do you think LeBron is the same athlete he was in Miami?
The last time that he went to the championship, I do.
So in the bubble, he was the same athlete he was in Miami?
No. He wasn't the same athlete. And again, the bubble is his second greatest championship. That's where he deserves the second amount most credit for, is the bubble. You know what I'm saying? To me, his GOAT cases do start with his last two championships. You feel me? But he's not the same athlete. But also, he got a 3-month rest in that time. And that's also why he's never going to win again. If Steph was in the right situation, he could win again. LeBron will never win a championship no matter what, unless he win and play with Steph. Yeah. If he played with Steph, he could win.
Bron's only chance of winning another ring is playing with Steph?
Yeah. LeBron will never win another ring. And that's fine. He's old and he's on a shitty organization. I don't care. The Lakers are a bad organization. Yeah. But yeah, it's fine. It's just the only problem is if he's so great and he's had all these great teams and there's nothing wrong with his game, he can do everything, why did he win less than people that he's better than? I don't get it. You had more opportunities than Jordan. You had more opportunities than Kobe. Why, if you're undeniably so much better than them, and you had these teams, you had these opportunities, what is it that made you not win? I mean, you can easily say KD, but if your answer is KD, then I should be able to say, well, then you should have won 4 times in Miami when you didn't have KD and you had the best team. You know, KD won every year that he had the best team, and if he didn't get hurt, and this is not me just saying if we all know that if KD didn't get hurt, they would have won every year that KD was there.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is when you have a stacked team and you are the best player, why don't you win every year? You know?
No, that's fair. I told you, man. I always look at the Miami years as you know, food left on the table.
It was. You know, and then if I want to say those same things about Kobe, he said, well, why didn't Kobe win when he always had the best team? I could always say, well, he won more than LeBron. Why didn't Jordan win when he always did this? I could say, well, he won more than LeBron. So it matters, you know, and that's why I've said LeBron didn't need to get 5 rings so people don't have that knock on him. No matter how you feel about LeBron, no matter what you think about him, you can't say nothing about that when people say it. They say, oh, Jordan was 6-0 in the finals. It's like, well, you can say whatever you want, but if LeBron had 5 or 6 rings, that wouldn't sting how it do. Man. Not only was he 6-0 in the finals, but you only have 4 rings. You know.
4 rings is a lot, bruh. 4 rings is a lot of rings, bruh.
It is.
There's too many players that never got one. Greats. We got greats that ain't never won shit.
And LeBron is hands down better than every single one of them.
But he's not better than the ones that won more.
I mean, at least it's hard to be argued that he's better than Michael Jordan.
Okay.
You know? I mean, it's just really hard to argue that. You know, I'm a Kobe stand to the death. I easily see how you can argue that LeBron's better than Kobe. Easily. You know what I'm saying? It's just very hard to argue that he's better than Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
It really is. And to me, you're delusional if you don't think that. Because like I said, as a Kobe fan, I see easily like who it's hard to argue that he's better than. But sometimes people do get real disrespectful when it comes to who Kobe's better than. But they do the same thing with Jordan and they do the same thing with LeBron. You know, it's like whatever I said last about LeBron, people take me as that. If I say great things, I'm a broad sexual. If I say the opposite, I'm a Kobe stan. I'm a this, I'm a that. I'm like, I look at it from both ways every time, and then I give my opinion on both ways every time. You feel what I'm saying? And to me, no matter what you want to do and what you want to look at it and how I include Kobe and this and this and this and that, if we're being super objective, no matter what, at the end of the day, it's very hard to argue that anybody ever was better than Michael Jordan.
No, that's facts. That's facts. It's hard because not only did he win, but he is revered as the GOAT. Like anybody who has already been revered as the GOAT, it's hard to undertake them. Like how you if it was one thing if Bron was the GOAT first and then Jordan was after that and was like, oh well, you know, Jordan.
Yes.
But it was not that case. He was already the GOAT. Agree. So it's kind of like it's always gonna be harder for somebody to come in and remove status from somebody else.
But to me it should be harder.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's because even in LeBron's case, like, cause I heard somebody say this about Jordan. It's like Jordan didn't have nothing to chase. It just was what it was. LeBron having something to chase gives him an advantage. It's like if your girl's cheating on you, right? And she's telling her dude she cheating with everything that she don't like about you, right? The dude she cheating with is at an advantage. He know everything already. You don't know nothing. You just out here living your life, and she like, man, I like this dude better. It's because he got the blueprint. He knows what to do. He knows what not to say. He knows all of that. And that's what LeBron James had. So it's like, not only did you have the cheat sheet, but to a lot of people, you didn't surpass the cheat sheet. Because it's not just about you don't have more rings. It's about you never won Defensive Player of the Year. You have less scoring titles. You did lose in the finals. You are the number 1 scorer, but Michael Jordan averages more points per game than you. It's like, it's not, and people just say, oh, it's just rings. It's not rings. Michael Jordan has more everything than on everyone, including LeBron.
The cheat sheet argument, I don't like that because it's easy to say that Mike had that LeBron had the blueprint from Mike and everybody before him. The eras were different. Jordan's got a defensive player of the game, but who was he guarding that was at the level of who LeBron James had to guard?
Let's go ahead and say it. What we always say. You can only play who's in front of you.
And I know, but that's why I think the cheat sheet is it's not fair.
Michael Jordan. All right, listen. Kobe Bryant and LeBron James are better than Michael Jordan to me. Okay? But if we're going to get objective and we're going to say take any fandom out of it, take anything that you quote unquote can't prove out of it.
Yeah.
And let's say who's the best. And we look at it, the answer is Michael Jordan. And it's because I can prove to you that he won Defensive Player of the Year.
Got you.
Right?
The tangibles are there.
Exactly. But then I also say with like MVPs and shit like that. Everyone knows that Kobe Bryant should have more than one MVP, right? But we also know that LeBron should have more than 4. You get it? But like LeBron should have 10 MVPs.
Word.
And Kobe should have about 4 or 5.
3.
But or 3. Even.
But he should have more than 1.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have more than 1. And a lot of those ones that don't get him to 5 is because LeBron should have won them.
Right.
Like, all jokes aside, like LeBron for sure should have 10 MVPs. But if we're going to go and be objective, I would bet money that Jordan should probably have 12 or 13. You feel what I'm saying? And that's when you get into bullshit, because it's like, all right, I get how you feel. Because I might say LeBron should have 10 MVPs and you agree with that. And then it might be another person that's like you were saying, say, man, LeBron really should have 0. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, we think it's ridiculous for somebody to say that he should have 0. So then you have to go to, all right, so what can we prove?
What did he have?
Exactly.
Right.
And to me, that's why having the GOAT debate period is really kind of foolishness, because I do kind of have to go by that, but I also know that ain't everything.
It's not.
You know?
It's kind of got to be a my GOAT thing.
Yes.
And we got to leave the stats where they at. Because you can't touch those.
Because we can say, well, LeBron had the blueprint to beat Jordan, but then your argument of Jordan was already there. So you have to knock him off the horse.
Right.
You know, and that's literally you looking at the same thing 2 different ways. I look at it like he got the blueprint. You look at it like he got to knock somebody off the horse. That's been there for a very, very long time. So it's like, yeah, he's done all these great things, but he needed to do this and this just to make it to where he knock him off the horse. It ain't nothing else y'all can say. And he wasn't able to do that, and neither was Kobe. Yeah. But when I look at either of them and I say, hey, you got to start a franchise around one of these guys, who are you going to pick? I'm picking LeBron and Kobe before Michael Jordan. I'm actually picking Kobe first. You feel me? But I get why anybody will pick LeBron first, you know? But I even always say with somebody like Kobe, I can put him on any team. With LeBron, I have to build a team around LeBron. And it goes to the same players that we say about all that athleticism. I got to build a team around Shaq. I can't put Shaq on any team.
When they was winning championships, I'm pretty sure you could put Shaq on any team. In 01 through 03, you could put Shaq on any team.
You definitely couldn't. That was going 7 games with people. That was going games where Shaq fouled out and Kobe had to win the game.
But you still had Shaq. I always say, bro, if you took Shaq during that era and put him on the Orlando Magic with Tracy McGrady, they win rings. You put him on the Toronto Raptors with Vince Carter, they win rings.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
You put him in Philly with AI, they win rings. He went to Miami with D Wade and won a ring.
D Wade won that ring. You
can say D Wade won the ring, but Shaq was with him. That's all I'm saying. If you put Shaq with any of those players who were of the same caliber as D Wade, because I don't think D Wade was a better player when he won with Shaq than Tracy McGrady was at that time. He wasn't a better player than T-Mac.
But see, here's the thing with that, is it falls under the same realm of what we just said. You feel that way. What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Because I definitely don't feel that way. And it's just because in their last 2 championships that Shaq and Kobe had together, if you compare their statistics in the playoffs compared to the NBA Finals. Like if there was a Western Conference Finals player of the playoffs back then, for their last 2 chips, Kobe probably would have won both of them. And again, go look at the numbers. You feel me? So my whole thing is, you're telling me that for sure Vince Carter would have done that? You're telling me for sure that Tracy McGrady would have done that?
Maybe not Vince for sure, but for sure AI and T-Mac. I've always believed that. Just because I think those players were better than D-Wade.
But you got to look at it from an isolated event. Was anybody better than D-Wade that year? You know?
Yeah.
It's you know, it's like I always say about, 2018 Bron. You know? Everybody's like, he's the greatest player of all time. And I've heard it so much, I was like, man, I need to go back and revisit 2018 Bron.
2018 Bron was special.
Yeah, I know he was a shit. I know he was a shit. And that was amazing. But I was like, man, maybe I need to go reevaluate it. But to me, LeBron on his best day is definitely the best basketball player of all time.
I agree.
But it's because why? Because on his best day, he's making his threes. On his best day, he's making the mid-range. On his best day, he's making free throws. And it's because the athleticism never wanes. The only time that he's not hands down the best player of all time is when he's doing something that's lacking in the basketball talent realm. But hey, I got to go do shit with my life. So I'm going to call it a day. We're gonna get our stats together, man.
I'm ready for
NBA
that.
Finals.
I'm ready for that.
After the NBA Finals, we might get to only dropping once a week. You feel what I'm saying? Because we're going to get together and we're going to talk about these stats. We're going to talk about these numbers. And we're going to talk about what make a GOAT, what make basketball talent. How the hell is Jimmy Butler pulling this off? You know, we want to answer some questions that ain't been answered, man. But, man, I'm going to take some inserts from this. And I know I'm going to get attacked for these with LeBron takes, man. But I don't know, man. I like LeBron, and I think he's great. but I don't drink all the Kool-Aid, man.
I can tell you appreciate it. I can tell you appreciate Bron, and I can't be mad at you for that.
I do. You know, he's all-time great, you know. And again, he belongs in the GOAT combo. I'm completely cool if someone says that he's a GOAT. It's just at times I disagree with certain things that they say about LeBron. That's it. We up out of here, though, man. Keep it real. Until next time, predictions. Game 3. Who you got?
Go with Denver.
Me too. And even against my heart and my love, I'm going to say what I said on the last episode at the end. My prediction. Heat in 7, baby. Let's go. We out.
Peace.